welcome back to the Cube Gaming with another round of standard Magic the Gathering here. So I'm running a Selesyna based enchantment deck. It was supposed to be Abzan, but someone wanted to borrow some lands from me, and they ended up not using it, so I ended up having to stick with it, and so did not have time making this an Abzan deck. And I'm playing against a Bant Teamer combo style deck, which you'll see what it's like, and it's pretty exciting, and I hope you guys enjoy the video.
Thanks. I mean, Cavalier. That was a trick. But Kenrith is going to let you just do it out of nowhere. Yeah. Is your wife okay? Yeah, she's had a really rough work week. I've never played this deck, so I don't know if this she's a nurse manager. And State just dropped in to say hello all week. So she was playing 12-hour days all week, and they were really mean about it. Do you think my hand's playable? Yeah.
If it's just one land, then yes, very.
I'll be honest. My hand confused me because I'm not playing fires. I was like, okay.
Why is my deck doing this?
I'm gonna keep.
All right. Temple of Penny tapped.
Are you sure this is my deck?
Scry one.
Nick has my other deck.
Oh, you let him play it?
No, I'm playing the cool deck.
I'm gonna bottom it and say go.
I did do everybody a favor and replaced most of the foreign cards in his deck. So
You did Nick a favor, if anything.
no, Teferi, they're English now.
Okay.
Let's blue white go.
Oh, that's not the cool deck. That's not very cash money to you.
MTG cash money. 877 cash money now. Okay.
Go ahead.
I have no clue as to why I was holding up mana for. I don't actually remember.
Shock Temple Garden.
I don't like the sound of
That's
that.
not an obvious growth spiral. Nope, not at all.
I will. Sentinel's Eyes.
Yeah.
Combat for 2.
Did you get new decks?
I was going to buy the second box for the draft, but I didn't get it.
I did not gain life off of the All Seed of Life's bounty attack. It has lifelink. Surprise!
How far
Pass.
Turn.
Growth Spiral.
It's really annoying.
That's not cash money because it's not the foil promo version.
I bought these ones for Josie.
Oh, the Sriracha ones.
Yeah.
Are those the? Oh, those are Ultra Pro. Me and Ultra Pro.
Look, alright.
Not you,
I just
Ultra
like
Pro.
them.
Yeah, 10 Ultra Pros right
They were
there.
cute.
I got you. Fable Passage. That's right. I'm so used to doing the normal fetch lands. Yeah.
Well, that's right. Growth Spiral. I'm like, excuse me.
Yeah.
But and then also I missed the land drop too. But Wilderness Reclamation. Get. Euro. Get.
Did you know?
It's either that or Euro. So
Then end step. Good.
I think I'm trying to kill you as quick as I can. I think.
No.
I'm gonna build a table with a bunch of silver bordered cards and put them in between glass.
That'd be sweet.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to collect a whole bunch of silver borders and
Sentinel's Eyes.
Yeah.
Attempt and all that glitters.
Sure. +5/+5.
Yep, so 6.
1, 2, so 7.
Yeah, you can make it.
9.
I took 2 already.
Come in for 9.
We'll say before blocks. Omen.
Mm-hmm.
Preordained mode.
Oh yeah, castle.
It is 4.
Get rid of both of them.
Then draw a card.
I almost grabbed it like it was preordained. Yep. So it's 9, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Have you at
7.
7?
Yep.
And go ahead.
Alright, options. Sure.
Fable passage.
Yep.
Almost did it again. Grab an island.
We'll pick him up.
Yeah, 3 cards in hand. Non-creature spells my opponent's cast costs 2 more to cast until my next turn. Watery Grave untapped.
Cut tap.
1, 2.
Tapped up.
Yep.
Body Erasure.
Cavalier of Dawn blowing up that.
Get rid of Sword.
I don't have a 3/3 token.
I do.
Okay. Say I have a red cheek Pikachu.
We don't do red cheater chew here. Somewhere in this box there's tokens of the golem variety.
Atris Oracle Patrons. Let's see. 1 card is 3.
Otherwise, after that token, I'm going to move to end step and untap my lands. Yep, perfect. So trigger, untap lands. You're good.
I think you and Josie are playing almost, well, very similar deck.
Lands.
It was like the site wasn't amazing before, but it was usable. Yeah. Now it's just unusable garbage. But
I'd almost prefer just the ability to type in like set
Selesyna?
code and
Yes.
collector code.
1,
7.
2.
Don't get me wrong, Siona's enter the battlefield effect is actually pretty strong if you run it in the right builds, because it doesn't just grab enchantments, it's only auras, which makes me consider maybe starting to run pacifism, since I believe it is standard legal at the current moment, or some pacifism type effect, so that way I can use it as a way to grab removal or something to help buff my creatures up.
You're good.
I should really be holding up 1 mana to protect stuff on the field, mainly because I know that my opponent's playing Cavalier of Dawn, especially since they've used it against one of my creatures, but I wasn't thinking clearly.
And that will be my turn.
End of turn. Thirst Remaining?
Yep. Draw 3 and then discard 2 unless you discard an enchantment.
Correct. Discard this Reclamation. Take my turn.
Yep.
Drop.
Tackle someone. Yeah.
Kaya deal 3 to Destiny Spinner. Combat. Got the shrine.
Thirst Remaining, main phase. Discard 2 shock lands.
So I could have played Abzan because no one borrowed my Overgrown Tombs. I'm real pissed right now.
Overgrown tomb.
Sorry.
Speak of the
You
devil.
do.
Josie forgot all of our shot plans.
Charming Prince.
Yep.
Flicker the sky till end of turn.
Yep.
Move to end step. Bring this back first.
Sure.
We'll blow up her. Get another golem, and then I'll untap my ass.
Playing.
And then it's your go after that.
Oh, I
Play
shouldn't say I
dice on
have
it.
two.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you can do this too if you want. I get it. No big deal. There. We'll put it down.
Doesn't want to run. I'm a bit of a cautionist. Not full on.
Starfield Mystic.
Looks like my opponent had the better mystic, but
Why do I feel like there's some kind
Citizen Training.
Sure. Gives it trample and 1-0 and
1-0,
draw a
yep,
card.
and draw a card.
Okay. Yep, you're good.
Land, and then I will. Should I shock that in? Let me see. I'm at 18. You at 7. Yeah, we'll shock it in.
So you'll go to 18.
Yep.
I should be at a higher life total than this, but because I was not aware of the life link on one of my creatures, I am not. So that is myself I have to blame and no one else.
Almost rusty.
Okay. 7. Nyx Bloom Ancient.
Ugh.
really limited the amount of cards.
That is such a sad card. I love that card.
We actually ran out of our
I don't know if I'd rather be playing against Patrol than Jesus.
Move to end step.
Yep.
Untap. You're go.
This I don't have to worry about. Nexus of Fate, right?
Right.
God, if that would have still been allowed, or even in standard right now, I'd have just picked up my cards right now.
this last week was the last week of the month. How is it going to be an uptick versus just one?
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide how I'm going to get out of this situation because this is not a very good situation for me to be in, especially since I'm an aggressive deck, or at least my deck has attempted to be an aggressive deck, and I am now just standing behind the lines and starting to play defense myself.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be aggressive, and here I am just can't even attack into anything. Like, God. So this is now a 5.
5, 6.
No, not
5-4.
6. 5-4.
Today, Junior.
This deck doesn't matter.
Oh look, I got these ones too.
I think so. I was like,
See here, I think what I can do is
Like, the part that is that there are things that are automatically ordered based off of inventory
go.
as far as
end
like,
step,
sales for things.
Sack Omen to scry 2.
Forecast on
Oh yeah, because it gives you
Yeah.
3 mana.
what have you.
Any good?
Are expensive.
1-1.
Which is also like I can kind of understand because like we don't
One
have-
floating, which won't matter, but I'll
aside from going
flash an
into
angle
the
grade.
inventory system and saying we use 2 rolls for it.
Someone's playing that
2 boxes.
card. Wow.
But things like
Take
Wow.
turn, drop.
Wow.
they
Someone is
record the
playing
number of
Angel of Grace.
I'm gonna do keep a blue floater.
At this point, the smart play for me would have been to just concede because there was no way for me to get out of this situation. I had ground attackers and they had air and ground locked up, so I could have saved for time just by avoiding this, but I guess I was trying to see what my opponent was playing out, and it helps me understand what their deck is trying to do.
It doesn't apparently
3. I'll have 2 black floating.
doesn't really
Play second
with any kind of
reclamation.
auto order, which doesn't even.
You sure you don't want to put down a Vivian Champion of the Wild so you could flash in a Hydroid Traces?
Right. Have 1 blue floating. I'll draw a card.
I'd go into account one and be like, huh, says we got 50.
3 the blue. I'll draw 1 more card.
And those are like items that come up on
Moved end step. First trigger, untap.
just really
I have 21 mana, right? Or 3 per. Yeah, 21 mana.
I was on the play. And he's at 7 life. This is just ridiculous.
How many cards can I draw? 4. 8.
I mean, I have a way to deal with that. Like,
4,
it's not like
8,
I don't have a way.
12, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. I'll draw 4 cards with having 1 blue floating. Second trigger.
whatever have you. Yeah.
Draw another 4.
I have 2 green floating. I'll play Growth Spiral. Draw.
Or I'll go online.
Land. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will put. Use the 2 green to put a counter on Kenrith, and then the rest I can gain 3 per. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll gain 30 life.
I don't want to deal with this.
Okay.
It's ridiculous. Gain 30 life, and then he's gonna sit there and play with himself while untapping. Yeah, no, that card's gotta go. Like,
I love that card.
3. So I was getting upset, and I should have been better with my attitude. I'm still working on that. It's not an easy thing to do. Also, trying to figure out what I need to bring in and what they might be bringing in against me. Sideboarding is a very difficult thing to do. It's not easy, and that's why I suggest learning it as best as you can. Also, you can learn from pros. There is going to be a link in the description explaining how to sideboard, and I believe it's by Seth Manfield. If you're interested in learning more, he does go into depth on how sideboarding is very important. Also, it is imperative that I keep better hands and take better plays, pay attention to the life totals. There's a lot of stuff that could have been done a lot better in that match, or that round, excuse me, and thereby giving me a much better and more optimal chance. But hey, you got to learn. You got to make mistakes to learn. Oh. Oh, I actually have one of those main? Okay, cool.
Technically, a business degree, there would be trusted someone than just Joe Slow off the street that's got a degree in liberal arts or history or what have you.
I do apologize for the long sideboarding. It's just I'm not too familiar with this matchup, and this deck is fairly new to me. So trying to figure out what to bring in and what to take out is a very big challenge for me. So that's why it took me a while. But I think ultimately I ended up bringing in like 9 cards. For some strange reason, I always have to bring in like 9 cards against blue. So I don't hate blue that much, but geez, like every single time I've noticed that I play against blue, I bring in 9 cards.
That was a bit more more like
Oh, one more card I could cut. That's what I could cut.
travel.
Did I not put that in? Yeah, I did borrow it. Yeah.
When people coming through this town,
Oh, yeah, that's definitely.
they see
I wanted to double check and make sure there wasn't any like
a mall, they know it's going to be a place to maybe get stuff.
Oh, there it is.
Ultimately, I think I'm going to take the deck into Bant colors, mainly so I could have staggering insight for the card draw and the lifelink. Pretty good to have. And I'm also going to see about reducing my mana cost to just mostly 2s, and the only 3 mana cost card I want in the deck will be Selesyna Champion, because that card, in my opinion, is very strong. Very good card, especially when you give it trample. So I'm doing this mainly so I can get around Elspeth Conquers Death, because that card will wreck you if you are not ready for it or don't have a way to defend against it.
Minnesota,
Missed twice. Doesn't help.
those are all going to be places that you're going to. So, but they'll come through and be like, oh, it's been 2-3 hours since we last stopped for break. It's not here because here's this mall. And then depending on which way they come through, they might see. Well, they might see Central Park, Central School, and their little art space. Be like, that's a good place to just relax or what have you.
Yeah, because it was really fun. People that have
I just run 61. I don't care. I don't care.
For some reason, my main deck had 61 cards and I had 15 cards in the sideboard. So total of 76
Like I
cards,
said,
which
you
is
should
not
be running
illegal,
like a Vivian,
but
Champion of the Wild,
not
Flash and
optimal.
Hydroid Crisis at instant speed for like 500.
I'm not playing Crisis.
Oh, that's a shock.
So last year we had.
Why would you not play Crisis with all that mana? I guess because Teferi exists.
Anything by Austin.
But then they're not going to want to bounce your freaking 500 Hydroid Crisis. Although you'd know yourself, but then you'd probably just slam a Thassa's Oracle or be like, hey, roll myself again.
Left you here that you've been here a while. Aside from here, you got
Sure.
Lawn, which isn't exactly
wait.
Scry one.
Traveler.
Leave it on top. Go ahead.
You've got Wix, which isn't exactly like you might
Play
get some people.
tap land. Go ahead.
The eye place, the gym,
And
still there.
No, that's not. It's.
Destiny Spinner.
I'm not sure if bringing this card in was a wise play, but my opponent had blue, so I had to assume counter magic on my enchantments and or creatures.
Move to combat?
I was thinking of something when I.
Field of Ruin? And Citizen Champion. Pass.
End of turn.
Red
Spiral.
Spiral.
Did you listen to me?
Play water.
No, I was thinking about.
Drop.
Exactly your original
Saying-
to that. Ingrid.
I realize that whole like impulse buying slash reliability that you're talking about with the books, that can happen here. Like, I probably couldn't count the number of people that came in and asked if we have cards against humanity.
Oh yeah, but those we don't make.
Spiral.
Yep. Draw a card, then play an additional land, which you probably run like 27.
Go ahead.
Young adult people
What?
ask for it, but
I'm just saying.
that you're gonna get some
Scry?
50-year-old grandma's buy for her grandchild. You're not gonna know what it is. It's just this black box that says cards against humanity. Well, humanity, that's us. You don't
Leave
want
it on
anything
top.
against us.
Yeah.
Like some of the people that may be like local, like greater Minnesota,
Trigger.
He's gonna have it
may be some like
Draw a card.
if they wanted to try and order it through you guys, that'd be different, but it's not necessarily need to have on shelf available. And like Fallout did that too. You didn't have it. And I
Come in
wanted
for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Unfortunately, haven't really seen anything Very recently. Well,
Pass.
there is actually
I mean, not even,
something.
yeah, not even.
That's
Alex, you're not playing?
No. It was even number.
Oh, okay.
That quit at least looking mad per se. Like,
I'm not mad at you. I just don't. I like being able to play. And I got to play, and then I got stuck out. But I think this game is a little bit more favored in my direction, unless I could be wrong. But
this Kickstarter and like
I'm down.
a week after they don't.
Dude, at least
You're a
we
little
got
more
the game.
gone, and I'm figuring
Yeah.
I was actually just talking about this today. One of my
I
assistant
can
managers
kind of
was
understand why, because they don't necessarily want to have to continue to produce it for some length of time.
Yeah, it's like it's like their county house, like
Yeah.
symbol, you know? But then it's like
Well,
one of
I've
those
gotta
things where it's
pay,
got stuff
so
on the
it's
inside,
not
just
like I
flip
don't
it over your head, and it's like Goku going Super Saiyan.
Backpack.
What?
Yeah, it's
Stuff
so
is
cool.
all
Why don't they sell that shit on here?
I had to drive or fly halfway across the country.
That's so
Yeah.
awesome.
You don't want to know what I got her husband.
What'd you- what? No, dude, I don't want to know.
What you got?
What'd you give her husband?
So
Not-
You can speak
Wish
from
there was
the
something.
stand.
Get to draw a card, buddy.
I saw to
Narset.
draw a card.
buy
So
a
annoying.
magazine or something. More
For
wishes
6. Yep.
Sorry I put you
times
on
as
two
a
land.
Blaze 2.
It's the way, it's a mechanic in the game.
Pass.
The only way I could win.
I don't do anything with
It was fucking, it's pretty sweet though, to be honest.
Honestly, I think most of
We
the
did some
games
back
are supposed to go like how the first game went.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
You had like
Oh, yeah, I mean, I have sweepers
to fairy,
and
and then like
after the game went.
and after turn 4, you literally just like can
bunch
play
of people
two
get together
creatures that I could
here
never
for magic.
get around and deal with.
I don't
I'll
really
gain 2.
get together
Gain 3
with
life.
people
So I
otherwise.
just chuck it
Have you at 8?
Yep.
I've been
Um,
since our
Go ahead.
Christmas party. I've been
Draw.
wanting to go and do bowling.
Ah!
Like race, but I don't want to go do by myself. And, like I could make friends with the other
Starfield Mystic.
but also just want to do it with my friends.
All that
I
glitters.
know, I just tested my
Trigger.
league on it.
Draw.
Need to try and get it.
Let's open up the trade today.
He's like, gotta find out who he goes to first. Because he's actually really good.
Melvin Morton's the one I
No, our league, the league,
18.
like, the guy who runs the league is actually really good. But he's like, he's really good, but he never can like manage to pull it out.
Banishing
Like,
Light.
he always finds the like deep wire
I'll go
guys
first.
and stuff like
No
that.
problem.
But then like for whatever reason, he just.
It puts it in my hand. It does not.
Nick seems to be pretty on to like I've done it with D&T and
It's kind of hard to get into the game when you're falling behind and I'm removing everything that you pretty much play. So it's again, it was smart of my opponent to save for time. Again, you want to save for time because if you're not in a winning fight and you have a better chance in the third game, then it's probably best to concede and pick up the cards and sideboard accordingly.
Why does that card have reach?
Because it's an archer. Why does everyone keep asking you that question?
Because it's a mono red 2-drop.
Because it's an archer. Red has reach in it.
Generally, reach is a defensive mechanic though, and it also has haste.
yeah,
Which is really weird.
like it's an archer, but
It's confusing you. It's trying to tell you, do you want to play aggressive or do you want to play...
doing any archer? Yes, it's designed as Robin Hood, but
If I'm playing
aside
with
from
18 mounted
stealing from the ridge, he's not
So I am currently discussing with one of my friends about
what's in my deck, I
uh,
don't think I want to play defensive.
Robber of the Rich. There we go. That's the card I was thinking of. I almost forgot about it.
If you're playing
Everyone's
defensively,
like, why does
you're
this card have
probably
reach?
winning that
And
game.
he's an archer. It even says on the card, human archer. And from my recollection, most archers in Magic the Gathering history usually have had reach. Usually, I could be wrong. There's probably cards out there that I don't say because I've only been playing since the original Theros. But it is a card that it can be aggressive, but sometimes you might need to be defensive, and it comes in handy.
But I don't think it helps me in this situation. Where is it?
Okay, solid. Yeah, that's right, Scott. I'm not playing blue-white control.
What? What's wrong with you guys? Stop playing outside of your archetype.
I mean, you are, but you're
I'm
also
playing
playing.
Esper control.
That's just as bad. That's actually worse because of thought erasure.
There's more.
I'd rather play against Esper than Blue White.
You'd rather
Blue
play
White,
against Esper than Blue White?
Blue
I
White
think
just
blue white
dirtles
is better than
harder.
Esper.
Dirtle's harder? Nah, I don't know. But they go in your
At
hand
least they
too,
can
though.
kill you. They can kill you. With
What,
that deck.
Esper?
Yeah. Otherwise, you just get dirtled by Dream Trawler with the other deck.
That's where Shadow Spear comes in handy.
I'm going first. I don't know if you heard for myself.
7. I'm sure you don't want to give an aggressive deck to play, although that didn't work out very well for me last time. Sure. Yeah, sure.
Open it up and it's stuck and it's open like that.
What, do I want to keep that?
Wish cold.
No, I don't actually. I just realized I always sort of, that's what keeps happening to me is I think I have a certain card in my hand and I don't, and then I keep and it's like, oh, oops. That's what happened to me in draft too. Like I thought I had Myers Grasp in my hand, and I did not. I kept a 2-lander and I'm like 2 black and not a single white, like 3 white cards. I thought I had a creature there. I had but 1 creature, but no way to cast said creature. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't really be on this play here.
Join me, dark side.
I can't stay on this because it's all reactive.
Join me on the dark side of the Force, young Skywalker.
Aggressor, if you're the aggressor, and apparently I have to be the aggressor because you outclassed me pretty quickly. I'll give you the pro shuffle. Maybe that'll help you out. Maybe it'll hurt you. I don't know. Pick one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm caught up trying to watch Better Call Saul and Castlevania.
I just finished the newest season of Better Call Saul. That's pretty good.
I'm only on season 2, I think. This, oh god, I'm gonna keep.
Yes, Sky fires blue white.
Probably gonna shuffle, but
All 3 of them are
okay.
I'm gonna send those this away and this away. God.
Ready?
Yep. Ah.
Good.
Yeah, not too bad. Temple Garden, say go.
We're
Go ahead.
a little over a third of the way there, so we're getting there.
Knock off Fleece Main Lion.
Yeah.
Say go.
Forget when it dies or what? It does something.
It comes back as a enchantment, but
That-
not an actual enchantment, as an aura. Or
that
something.
has the ability.
Mhm.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Are you gonna be free?
Are you playing 4 colors?
I don't know. Am I?
I don't know.
Oh, it's
I don't know.
by EDH together. What's there to be 12?
Citizen training?
Are you busy Sunday?
Yeah.
That's vetoed.
Well, I mean, for a little bit.
Whatever. We'll just.
Sentinel's Eyes?
Sure.
And
Hit you for 4.
Oh, yeah, you can play. I've never been
And
out
it's your
with
go.
you on Sunday.
He's
I
like the same person.
Yeah, no, no. What I meant is like I forgot that he.
Woe was me.
I
Looks
forgot
like it's
you
my goat
existed
for now.
outside of
Go ahead.
I have a go.
Or here, I'll look for it. You can grab.
Alright, these are the standard tokens.
Okay. Is your go after that?
Okay,
Is
to
it
be
just
fair,
a plain white goat?
It's an 01, yeah. And if you don't see it there, try that box too.
I beat her.
Okay.
That's all I did to her.
I actually think I might have grabbed one.
I'm going to, well, you're tapped out, so I'm
Nope.
going to be playing stuff,
I didn't win
Citizen
that
training. draw a
The
card.
green card that draws cards, gains life, and makes mana, and puts counters
Sentinel's
on stuff,
Eyes.
won that game. Not me.
I'm blowing my load on one creature here, but 1, 2,
I mean, at least it's an indestructible one that can't get hit by
It isn't.
unconscious death.
I'm gonna sacrifice the token anyway, so.
Okay, and I'm gonna hit you for 6, or come at you for 6.
Does not have trample.
It has trample.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm still
Block
taking
with the
6.
token, sack it.
Yeah, same difference.
Block with the token attack.
Okay. So you're done after that?
I am done blowing my load after that,
Alright,
yes.
I'll scribe on it. Then we'll do your turn.
I really need to stop tapping out because the whole point of me having that card in the deck is to prevent from board wipes, but it does require 2 mana, green and a white. So I don't know why I'm doing what I do.
And I was like, this doesn't look fun at all.
Wait, you're talking
And so
about
I
his or
switched
yours?
mine.
Oh.
And so I switched out.
So
like
how big is it?
cards,
It's a 6/6.
and
6/6?
Or, no, excuse
I'm
me,
kind of
6/5.
regretting it because
1, 2,
the only
3.
reason it didn't run
1,
those
2,
cards is to put in
so
stuff
6/5.
that's really good against the mono red matchup.
2 cards?
2 cards.
And I'm not saying I'm gonna go against mono red,
8.
but I might go against mono red. I have a tendency to
Kenrith.
beat you at these
Got it.
events.
Draw.
Sure.
It's not mono.
Come in for 6.
Check 4.
Take 4. Pass.
Dude, you're not building Soul Time mid-range. How many arrows do you have?
That's like, if I could play any deck in Modern, that's the deck I'd play.
Oh, dude, I've been playing Soul Time mid-range on Arena all week. I love it. It makes me sad that I have to
Or
play
in
this.
Pioneer, I mean.
Oh, and Pioneer.
I'm in Pioneer.
Spiral.
I was gonna say, I didn't know that was a thing in Modern. I love that.
I do too.
I'm gonna be so sad when it becomes the wasteland that
Yep.
Modern is, and we need to make Pioneer 2.
Oh my god.
At like 6 lands.
Thank you for joining us in these videos. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the video and leave a comment down below.